Hey, what's up, you guys? Long time no see. Gavin here. Today we are looking at a stupendous band. I have not reviewed this band before. They are coming out the left wing with some good stuff. Yeah. So the band we're looking at today is Last Dinosaurs. Now, I've heard a couple of songs by them. Specifically one song, Apollo, off the album Wellness. And yeah, so some of the things we're going to be talking about today are my first impression, lyrics, band similarities, favorite song, and singing and screaming styles. Alright, so like I said, first thing we were looking at is my first impression. Okay, so pretty much when I first heard Last Dinosaurs, I got exposed to Apollo. It's kind of poppy. It had like these MGMT vibes. I'm gonna talk about that further in another further in the video, but it gave me like kind of like a trippy vibe. It was really poppy and nice, and you know, listening to Apollo, I had listened to that song about like 25 times already. That was part of my routine. I was listening to it while I did chores, all these things, and I got really attached to it. You know, a lot of the things that the lyrics were saying, you know, described how I felt. Further into the video, we were talking about the lyrics. But yeah, so I got really attached to it, and you know, I got really accustomed to what Last Dinosaurs might have to offer. And there's been a couple of times where like I had liked a certain song off of an album, and then looked into the album itself, where that song came from particularly, and I wasn't exactly, I had kind of an expectation for this band and for what the album was going to offer, and sometimes they are met, sometimes they're not, sometimes they exceed my expectations, which it's rare, but when it does happen, I don't know, completely in awe, if you will. So yeah, my first impression was that my expectations were met for this album. I was not let down. It's fun. It has that like lovey, dreamy vibe that Apollo was giving me as a prequel, or not prequel, as a preview for the album, and I really liked it. I really appreciated that, because you know, a lot of times you go into these albums and you know, each song is different. Each song has its own story to tell, and in their own way. And I do like it. It's definitely brings variety to the table when it goes that route. But if I come to an album where, you know, it's kind of not exactly a concept album per se, but a little bit of each song is conceptualized and has like kind of a draw with the other songs. It makes the album that much better, because when you show someone this one song that you really appreciate, and they decide to take it upon themselves to look further into the album or the band, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm really glad that you showed me that song, because when I listened to the rest of their stuff, I was pleasantly surprised to find that they are exactly who I, you know, wanted them to be, per se. Kind of like when movie trailers are like really awesome, and then you go to the movie and the movie's really awesome. It just sets up for your whole movie experience, in my opinion. So yeah. the songs are so like poppy and like trancy and very. I guess I haven't skipped it. Very like. It's like poppy, but with like electronica dropped in there. Like it's not very obvious. You know, it's very electronically led per se. But when you listen to it, you let it sink in. You know, you can hear like kind of what ambience kind of brings to the table. It has that in there, and it has like a little bit of like a trippy feel to it. It's very dreamy. I so appreciate this band and this album. Okay, so the next thing we're talking about is lyrics, and the first song on the album is Evie. It starts off, I can't remember when I felt like I could fall. It could have been yesterday or maybe not at all. I'm trying to find my way to you because I've got you in my head. There are not enough words I could say to you, she looked at me and said. Now, from this, kind of a cliffhanger there, but I guess I can't remember when I felt like I could fall. Could have been yesterday or maybe not at all. I guess he's never, pretty much just saying that I've never felt this way. I'm trying to find my way to you because I've got you in my head. There are not enough words I could say to you. Yeah, this is declaring his love. And in the next part, it's what she says, and she says, I know the distances are far between us, can't let this go because I'm always going to be a dreamer. Star-crossed as it seems, I still choose to believe it's a small world, yeah. So, after what he says, she's kind of declaring her love in a little more pessimistic way, because she does say that there's a bit of a distance, but she can't let go, and she still believes in this because she's a dreamer, and dreamers, it's hard to convince dreamers that there's only one way to see things. And in the next part, I try to crystallize my fictive thoughts. You may not realize, but that's what I'm here for. Yeah, it's getting kind of dark now. All the time, I think you see it too. All the sketches of our fate just don't align. I'll wait to see it through. So, I guess I try to crystallize my fictive thoughts. So, I guess he's trying to, make things happen. And, he's saying, you may not realize, but that's what I'm here for. To make sure things go as planned or go the route we intended. Yeah, it's getting kind of dark now all the time. I think you see it too. So, he's juggling the fact that he's trying to make these things happen, and it's kind of like, it doesn't seem like it's going that way. With them being like, yeah, it's getting kind of dark now. All the time. I think you see it too. All the sketches of our fate just don't align. I'll wait to see it through. So, even though, he knows what he's got to do, he's going to try to make it happen. It doesn't seem like it's going that way, but still, he will prevail. Then it goes off. I guess it's her part, since the last time this chorus was sang, it was hers. So, I know the distances are far between us, because I can't let this go, because I'm always going to be a dreamer. As star-crossed as it seems, I still choose to believe it's a small word. Now I won't change my mind. So, yeah. She's pretty convinced that things are, as they seem, really good, and she's not changing her mind. There's nothing that can really affect her and that way. This time I really want to make you mine. It's hard to ever know if I should let it go. So I guess this whole song is just them going back and forth about how things are really good, things get bad, we still see the good. There's no way that anything can really affect this. This is a kind of a bit of a stabilization, if you will, or maybe a bit of a sense of confidence in these lovers. That's what the lyrics depict. The next song is another one of my favorites. I'm gonna tell you about my favorites in more detail later on in the video, but I definitely would have to say that Always is another great one. So this one is really good, and honestly this whole album is really good, and every song on here is just magnificent. Alright, so it starts off, I'm thinking deeper now that my eyes are red, breathing in the clouds cause I'm over it. There's nothing I have to answer for cause I'm not faced by it anymore. Will you ever know the truth hidden from yourself? Keep your heart away from your mental health, cause I know you understand how it goes. Okay, that's a really good, I'm probably gonna steal that quote sometime, cause I don't know, that's really nice. Keep your heart away from your mental health. Yeah. So now you understand how it goes. And then here's the chorus. It's the only time of day I'm always. It's the only thing I feel. That's always. If only you can feel this with me. Maybe you will change your mind and tell me. Counting down the days till you realize you can't pretend to know without open eyes. Take this chance to understand how it goes. So I'm thinking knee deeper now. I guess, kind of feels like, you know, they've been together for a while, and, maybe, I don't know, because it says I'm counting down the days till you realize. Maybe they've gone through something, and, you know, he's trying to put it in her head that this is how it is, you know, and, you know, I'm counting down the days till you realize. Apart from the lyrics, though, it is a really good song, and, the lyrics are kind of, I don't know, they kind of hit home a little bit. Lyrics are kind of, she pulled me in and said, oh darling, you're right, you need to fix yourself. I thought I told you last time, I'm going back again. Can't change my mind, you never made no sense. Hope you can hear that. I'm gonna just like mumble away and you can't hear anything. There we go. But yeah, so those are some of the lyrics. I guess it's more about, oh, another band, I'm gonna talk more about this, they kind of remind me of is the XX. Yeah. So, didn't really get through all of them, but they all kind of have that, the theme of, like, love and, you know, it seems like a back and forth between him and this girl. You know, from, like, declaring love to, you know, trying to find love in a place that they already have love, to, you know, declaring more love, you know, celebrating love. That's pretty much what this whole album kind of, all the lyrics kind of represent and stand for. Alright, so next we're talking about my favorite song off of this album. Now, this is very simple, very easy. I'm just gonna straight up say it, and yeah. So, off of this album, my favorite song is Apollo. mostly because I've listened to it like 100 billion times, and because it just knocks the nail on how I feel, you know, kind of like, I don't know, it's just a fun song, and it's just so uplifting, and it's so happy, and it's like dancey and jazzy. I don't know, it's a really awesome song, and I never get tired of it. I've yet to be tired of it. I probably should have done this in the lyrics section of this video, but it's just a back to rules, shall I? So I'm gonna look up some of the lyrics, and yeah. Alright. So it starts off, I don't want to know, you're driving me crazy. Say it again, my memory is hazy. I'm falling down the rabbit hole again. And all things in time will fade away, but I by design will never stray away. Knowing this life is not the one for me, oh I'm ready to be somebody else. I'll forget how to feel the things I felt. Ideas in the air, the miracle methods I'll never get. I'm easily tempted. I'll follow you if you're offering the truth. My mind is made up. I'm willing to come down and wake up. The longest I would know of this life, I'm not the one for me. I don't know, the part where it's like, oh, I'm ready to be someone else, it just, you know, I don't hate who I am, I don't hate my life or anything, but I have dreams that I want to make happen. So hearing that I'm ready to be somebody else just kind of makes me feel like, you know, I'm ready to, you know, be the next me, you know, make all my dreams come true, you know, achieve what I'm trying to achieve, be somebody else, feel like someone else. And then it's one more time, I need to see you one more time. I'm leaving because I need to know if there's more than this. Yeah. I think I've mentioned this like in solemn ways, the silence, but that just, there's only one person in this world I need to see one more time. They know who they are. They know who they are. And that's Michael Cera. Yeah. I actually met Michael Cera at South by Southwest, which is coming up very, very soon. If you are a huge fan and want to see me, I will be downtown. I think from like the 10th to the 12th of March, and then again the 16th and 17th, maybe the 18th of March. We'll see. But yeah, that's all. Also, my birthday's coming up, March 3rd, if you are really that interested in who I am and what I'm all about. Yeah. So I guess that concludes it. Anything else I could probably say about this song is it's super dancey. It's super dancey and it's super fun to listen to. You can't really have a bad day listening to this song. So yeah. Alright, so the last thing we're looking at is the singing and screaming style that Last Dinosaurs employs. Also, another thing I wanted to note is that this band is very, if you've ever heard of the term tropical house, or maybe the artist Chami, definitely there's a lot of influences from that genre, and maybe even that, I don't know if it's a direct, but definitely there's a lot of Chami influences thrown into this this band that I really, really appreciate. But yeah, so the singing and screaming styles, pretty much, it's, how do I describe this singing? Just thinking a little bit because man, I feel like I'm really bombing this. But there's a specific name, but I can't really jump on it. I don't know, but it's very pretty. It's not entirely like Coldplay or anything. It's not like Tyler Joseph. There's not really much screaming involved in the singing. But it's got like, it's kind of monotone. It's a little bit of like a monotone, and then there's like a higher pitched. It's not entirely a lot of range to it. It's not like, you know, you're gonna get like Justin Bieber type vibrato here. It's not. If you're coming here for the singing and you want it to be like Johnny Craig or Kellen Quinn or maybe even Vic Fuentes, you're probably not gonna really, you know, get the gist of what Last Dinosaurs has to offer per se, because the singing is not bland, but it is common. It's a little bit average, and it does kind of stay in one place. If you do like a lot of singers who are, you know, who can take the next level, even Brandon Urie has a lot of vibrato in his voice. He does have a lot of range when it comes to singing, and I think that's what people mostly appreciate Panic at the Disco for. But I don't know if you'll actually find that with Last Dinosaurs. I think as far as, you know, singing goes, everything else is, you know, top notch, and it's very different, and it's really interesting, and they do have their own spin on it. But the singing is kind of one place. It's not bad. It's not incredibly good. It doesn't really stand out. It doesn't really bring much to the table per se. It doesn't take anything away from it at all, but it can make it come off as if they're not really doing anything new. It's some of the things that they do will stand out to a lot of people. Some of the things won't. This music is hard to translate sometimes. People who listen to music just for singing, when they go into certain things, it can kind of throw them off when the singer's kind of just like a flat line. Not that they're gonna say it's dead, it's just if they don't see anything further than singing, it's gonna be hard for them to be like, Last Dinosaurs is something that will stick. Mostly this is the case with like people who listen to progressive music or not metalcore per se, but post-hardcore progressive. I feel like this is more of a mostly targeting them when I speak about this, because a lot of their artists just rely on vocals, you know, screaming, singing ranges. It's the only band that can think of that really focuses on melody and, you know, instruments, and kind of, you know, taking that as their core of indifference per se is Dance Gavin Dance. They've kind of, at one point they had everything. They had vocals and instruments, and they were just taking stone. But I don't know, Johnny Craig was maybe he wanted to do his own thing, and of course he does. He has his own thing, but I guess he's not really touring with Slaves right now, so I guess that's really the case. Anyway, but yeah, so the singing, like I said, it's not outstanding. It's pretty much all I can say, which is saying a lot, because it could be crap. There's a number of bands I can think of that their singing is just, take a step back, because sometimes you need just a little bit of singing. A little bit of singing can go a long way, even if it's not even like crazy good. You know, people like to be able to sing along to stuff. It's just how it goes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. To rate Last Dinosaurs out of 5, I would probably give them a or a strong 3.75. She says that's a really fraction number. Why not just go 3 or 4? Probably because I'm a very specific person, and I'm a little more in depth than that for some reason. I would give them a 4, but I've only heard one song, and that's not exactly enough for me to be like, they okay, boys needs to relax or something, but they just haven't grown on. I mean, they've grown on me a little bit, but not like, not long enough. 5, you have to be awesome all the time. Like, 4, you've grown on me. You've not necessarily grown on me, but I've listened to you long enough where there's just no other way to put it. Like a 4 band would probably be like Scarlett O'Hara. Not a 5 because they aren't. They're kind of average. There's nothing really like that stands out about them. But they have grown on me, and I like them a lot. And I could probably listen to them probably a bunch of times, and I have. 3s are usually the bands that are really good. Usually 3 or like in between 3 and 4, really good. They haven't had that fair chance. They haven't had that time with me long enough, which is not their fault, but it's just how it goes. 2s, I probably didn't like them that much. 1, I don't know if I've given. I think I've given a 1 a while back, but that's just because one of the albums was just not. It wasn't shite, but it just. I don't see the band growing on me at all, and it's just not my type of music, and it's just how it goes. So yeah, that's my rating, 3.75 for Last Dinosaurs. Yeah, so if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other bands you want me to look at, or albums, pretty much anything you want me to review, I kind of my range varies from a lot of things that I review, movies, shows, whatever I can get my hands on. Leave in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.